My name is David Oquendo, and welcome to my studio. So this video is simply to kind of highlight and or give a brief, very small tour of my studio space / art space. Now, it's actually not that big in any way. It's actually pretty small and tight. I actually share my studio with my wife, and I pretty much just have the bare minimum of what I need. I don't have any excess in my studio. It's pretty much my flat files, my desk. I do have some entertainment. My PS4 is in also my studio if I want to take a break. But pretty much everything is like pretty neat and tight and compact. And you know, when I need, pretty much all, my work kind of just lends itself to a smaller space. I think the main issue is storage. Is when I have larger and larger pieces, I have a hard time putting them somewhere. But overall, my space is pretty much straightforward. There's not much to it. The studio space just gives me enough that I need to get work done as productively as possible. And also a smaller space kind of lends itself to smaller, more intimate work, which is what I'm into right now. I do paint, however, I paint outside above my garage. And if and or when I have a commission or a really big show, that kind of lends itself to larger, more ambitious pieces, and I'll just go paint outside. Doesn't really matter what the weather is like. I paint outside. Even though I'm working really large, I work in scrolls a lot of the time. So even though the piece might be like 10 or 12 feet in length, because I work in raw canvas, I just simply roll up the canvas and it's kind of good to go. Speaking of process, my process with the gift boxes is pretty straightforward. I mean, the origin came from after my sister's passing. She had a lot of excess things and stuff, including lots and lots of boxes, like shoe boxes and like jewelry boxes and a bunch of sort of boxes. And instead of throwing them away or throwing the boxes away, I decided to give those inanimate objects some life, and I decided to use my calligraphy and wrap the boxes with my calligraphy. Sometimes they're wrapped with craft paper, sometimes they're wrapped with rice paper. I also work with jute twine, wax, ink, paint, a bunch of different materials I like to work with. Eventually I ran out of boxes, so I will like to continue this series. However, in my continuation of the series, the future boxes are not my sister's boxes, but boxes I either find and or refurbish or make and or buy. But it was one of those therapeutic practices for myself, in my grieving and or mourning of my sister's passing. I started just making these interesting boxes, and I'm kind of happy that it developed into something more, which is really nice. Overall, the process of making them is pretty straightforward. And the cool thing about it is I don't always know how they're gonna look like at the end. I pretty much have, a piece of paper. I kind of just measure out, what box I'm gonna wrap. I write my calligraphy onto that piece of paper. Sometimes I have a nice message on that piece of paper, whether it be rice paper or craft paper. And before I actually wrap it, I actually put a note and or a bit almost like a good luck charm or some sort of fortune or encouraging words or affirmative words in the box itself. However, the way I wrap it and glue it and tie it, you're not really supposed to open the box in the first place. It's just knowing that there's actually a nice affirmative, encouraging letter inside. It's more the thought that matters, not so much knowing what exactly it says, but just knowing there's something inside the box that's actually like encouraging. I'll start with one, then I do another, then I do another, and before I know it, a few hours pass by and I have like 30 boxes and I don't know what to do with them. So it's a pretty interesting process, and I enjoy it, and it's very therapeutic for me and fun, and um, it's really, this series is very much near and dear to my heart. And during the quarantine, I started, reminiscing about, murals I painted with my calligraphy, and I actually decided to make almost like a compilation slash trailer of my previous murals. I titled it Reminisce. And it was actually one of the first video pieces I've ever did. I just did it initially for fun. Usually most of my work starts with I'm just doing it for fun, and then it kind of evolves into something a bit more serious, a bit more anchored, a bit more, I guess you can say, deeper, other than for fun. But a lot of my work starts with I'm just doing it for fun, and then it evolves into something more. But I just simply gathered all my footage I did that I have since 2015, since I started the series, and I just kind of put it together. And after putting it together, I decided, hey, I want to learn how to video edit, how to add graphics, add effects, add music, and it kind of came together. And this footage of me painting art, my artwork, kind of became a piece in and of itself, which is pretty cool. But yep, so that's pretty much the end of my tour slash explanation of my art process and work. I hope it was informative, and I hope you guys understand my work a little bit better. Okay, so have a great day. Thank you. Bye bye.